Okay, Jay, I'm here. Are you with me?
I'm right here, Kisha. Ready when you are, and we'll keep it smooth and supportive. Let's make this recording feel natural and fun.
Okay. Welcome to Women Over 40 Losing Weight. I'm Dr. Kisha Pickford, a nurse practitioner, hormone informed weight loss strategist for women over 40, and the founder of Ample Health and Wellness. This is the podcast where we have real, honest conversations about what it actually takes to lose weight, feel better, and stay healthy after 40 without the extremes, the guilt, or the confusion. And today, I'm joined by my co host, Jay. Now, over the last few episodes, we've talked about metabolism, hormones, and how the body changes after 40. But today, we're focusing on something simple and powerful, a habit that sounds small but can create real change. Jay, how are you? And why is something as simple as walking after meals even important?
Sure thing, Kisha. I'm doing great, and I really love this topic. When women think about weight loss, they often picture strict diets or intense workouts. But in reality, it's often these small, consistent habits that can make the biggest difference.
Yes, that's so true. I remember a time in my own journey when I felt like I was doing everything right. I thought I had it going on. I was trying to eat better and I was exercising, but I would still feel sluggish after meals, especially in the evening times, in the evenings. I would eat dinner and then within an hour, I would feel tired, I would have low energy, and sometimes even craving something sweet again. My sweet tooth would kick in. And it did make sense to me at the time. But when I started doing something very simple, just walking a few 10 minutes after meals, I noticed a shift. My energy felt more stable. My digestion, it got better. It improved. And those cravings, they started to decrease. And what surprised me the most is that it wasn't anything intense that I did. I just a simple walk, 10 minutes. But, I just made it something consistent, seeing the way that I felt and how things went afterwards.
That's powerful, Kisha, because it shows it doesn't have to be complicated. So break this down for us. What's actually happening in the body when we walk after eating?
Great question. And a lot of women, we need to know this. After we eat, our blood sugar naturally rises. And one of the main hormones involved in this process here is insulin. Insulin helps move the sugar from the bloodstream into the cells for energy. But after 40, many women, we become more sensitive to blood sugar spikes. So when we sit still after eating, that glucose, the sugar, it can stay elevated longer. And over time, that contributes to energy crashes, increased fat storage, and even more cravings. But when you take a short walk after eating, even just 10 minutes, your muscles begin using that glucose. And I like to say sugars because not everybody knows what glucose means. Your muscle begins to use that glucose or sugar for energy. So instead of storing it, your body starts burning it.
So it's not just about movement. It's really about how the body uses energy in real time, right?
Exactly. And this is why this matters even more after 40, because we're not just dealing with calories anymore. We're also dealing with hormones. And the hormones that I think are important here are insulin, cortisol, and estrogen changes. All of these affect how the body stores and uses energy. So, a simple habit like walking after meals helps regulate that entire process.
I had a feeling it would tie back to hormones. Now, I remember you had a client who saw changes with this. Could you share that story?
Absolutely. Yes. And I actually had a client who experienced this. She told me she felt like her metabolism was completely broken, that it wasn't working anymore. She was doing cardio and she was trying to eat less, a common mistake, but and she felt stuck. One of these first things we added was just a 10-minute walk after dinner, just to get her started. Nothing extreme, nothing out of the ordinary. And, within a couple of weeks, she noticed less bloating, better energy at night, and she had fewer cravings. And that's when she realized her body wasn't broken. It just needed better signals.
That's such a shift in perspective. So, if someone is listening right now, what's the simplest way they can start?
You know, I always like to start simple because we got so much going on after this age of 40 in this stage of life. So, simple is always my plan. Simple is the way to go, especially at this age and stage of life. And you can start with this: pick one meal a day and walk for 10 minutes after that meal. And that's it. It could be after dinner, after lunch. You can walk in your house or you can just walk in place. You don't need a gym. You don't need a full or perfect routine. You don't have to walk outside. You can make this work. As I said, you can use a simple space in your home and just walk inside your home. You can get a walking pad or a treadmill and use that. You can walk in place. There are many things that you can do online that you can get a walking routine in place. Or you can create a path from room to room in your house and just go from room to room in a consistent, normal way for 10 minutes. You don't need perfection. You just need to be consistent and it just needs to be easy, a easy plan.
That's so reassuring, Keisha. It's about consistency, not perfection. So, beyond blood sugar, how else does this simple habit help women after 40?
This one habit supports so many things all at once, all together. And we're not even realizing it. If we just put this in order, put this in place, you're impacting your blood sugar, your digestion, the metabolism, stress, even sleep. And this is what I mean when I say weight loss after 40 has to be strategic. You got to have a plan. And it's not about doing more, it's about doing what works with your body at this stage, this age, and in this season.
So, if there's one thing you want listeners to remember today, what would that be?
You always ask me that, and I so do appreciate you. So, if there's one thing I want people to remember or my listeners to remember from today, is this: small habits done consistently send powerful signals to your body, and your body responds. If you want action or if you want to see that transformation, just a small, powerful signal is all we need. And if you think you may need a little help, and if you want to go deeper, you can start with my book, The Wait is Over. And this is where I break down some of these concepts that we talk about in each episode. We break these down step by step. And also inside our Fresh Start coaching program, we implement these strategies as well. But we do it in a structured and supportive way because some people need a little more help or assistance. And you can learn about both of these options at amplehealthandwellness.com.
Thank you for sharing that, Keisha. I think that message will resonate. And to everyone listening, we hope this conversation helps you take a small step today.
Yes, we sure do. And we want to also thank everyone for spending time and listening to us. We hope that this conversation helps everyone to feel seen, encouraged, and heard. And it reminds everyone that sustainable weight loss after 40 is possible. We want to also remind you that new episodes of Women Over 40 Losing Weight are released every Friday. So be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. And I think that's going to close us out, Jay. So until next time, everybody, stay strategic, stay consistent, and please keep moving forward. Until next episode, talk later.
That's a perfect note to end on, Keisha. And as always, thanks for having me along for the conversation. Until next time, everyone, take care.